The table rang like a bell. The armored top sent rounds ricocheting in all directions. Tracy had turned her table over as well. Keeping my head down, I waited. The smell of beer, whiskey, and stem sticks assaulted my nose. There was a break in the hail of metal, and I returned fire. The three nearest the bar had skewered the bartender. The monstrous, spiky aliens were hunched behind the bar, taking shots at us. Two porky bears from the middle of the room had also grabbed tables. They were using them as crude shields. Several patrons had also drawn weapons, so we didn't have their full attention. Our bullets kept them from advancing. My bodyguard fired when I took a break to let my pistol cool. In a way, we were lucky. Having used two large booths, we had two large tables. With 6 of us behind them, it was still cramped. Brady had grabbed Mr. Wayne. The wound in his left shoulder didn't look life-threatening. Mr. Barry was next to me. He was curled up in a ball and screaming like a little girl. There was a puddle under him. I couldn't tell if it was pee or beer. Tracy shot Narrating in the head and he fell. The ones behind the bar and holding the tables were edging left and right, trying to flank us. I shot at the feet of the ones carrying the tables. It didn't hit, but it slowed them down. Brady fired into the bar. The porky bears ducked down. Their spikes continued to move. We couldn't stay here. They were getting around our cover. A porky bear stuck his rifle around the end of the bar. He snarled, showing rows of sharp, bear-like teeth. He was going to rake my position. At this range, the Gauss round would slice right through me and kill everyone behind me. Sarah, my dad. I fired at him, but he didn't duck. Instead, he took careful aim. His rifle was pointed right at me. Click. Thump. A ball of fire erupted from behind the bar. The porky bear was thrown out from behind the cover. I put several rounds into him for good measure. I glanced behind me. Tracy held a pump-action grenade launcher. Where'd she kept it? Smoke wafted from the muzzle. With a smooth motion, she chambered another round. Running. Heavy boots. I could hear it coming from the passage outside. Station security was on its way. The table-wielding porcupine bears were still flanking us. Not for long. Sarah and Tracy twisted their table. It would have been a stalemate, but for one thing. We were on Ocelot, the asteroid port used by smugglers and pirates. The bar patrons organized themselves and counterattacked. They caught the quilled assassins in a withering crossfire. Tough as Arithazan are, they were unable to hold up under so much abuse. The heavy boots were right outside the door. As usual, Anubis's thugs were late to the party. I wondered who he would charge for the cleanup fee and how much it would be. The door opened. It wasn't security. 3 armored porky bears burst in. They caught the quilled assassins in a withering crossfire. Tough as Arithazan are, they were unable to hold up under so much abuse. The heavy boots were right outside the door. As usual, Anubis's thugs were late to the party. I wondered who he would charge for the cleanup fee and how much it would be. The door opened. It wasn't security. 3 armored porky bears burst in. For half a second, nothing happened. Then the bar erupted in weapons fire. Several patrons jumped behind the smoldering remains of the bar for cover. An Arithazan is tough. An armored one is a walking tank. Behind this vanguard, I saw more in the passage beyond. Following this, there was a door. A kitchen, maybe? I knocked the butt of my pistol against the table to get everyone's attention. I motioned to everyone that on my signal we would move as one through the kitchen door. I hoped the civilians in our group would understand. I then gave Tracy the muscat hand signal for being distracted. She nodded in response. 2 seconds later, the muscat popped over the table. I thought she was going to use the grenade launcher to hit one of the armored troopers. I was about to tell her to stop when she fired. The exploding canister sailed between 2 of the porky bears. It hit one just entering the bar. The concussion knocked him back into the passage and the 3 in the bar flat on their faceplates. My internal AI trilled. I had an incoming call from Mimi back on the ship. I ignored it. We sprinted for the door. My dad carried Mr. Wayne. Brady dragged a whimpering Mr. Barry. A Gauss rifle was firing. I felt a searing pain on my right leg. A round tore into the booth to my left. A tough-looking woman pounced